Welcome. Today we're going to look at lower back practice, a short practice to help release the lower back of tension and to really understand to really elongate the spine in order to create vertebral space, to create space. Okay, so let's start on our backs first of all. Moving the shoulders away from your ears, arms either side of the body, feet hip-width apart. A very gentle invitation now to gently close the eyes, if that feels appealing. To move the shoulder blades away from the body and the back of the neck is long. Notice your breath. Just notice your breathing. As you inhale, chest and abdomen rises. As you exhale, chest goes down, navel moves towards the floor and slightly up. And let's begin by really being aware of the feet. As you inhale, you're going to raise your left arm and extend your right leg. Extend through the heel and create diagonal stretch. As you exhale, slowly return back. Now we do the other side. Inhale, right arm, left leg extends. And exhale, return back to the beginning. Extend right leg, left arm, inhale. And as you exhale, return. Last side. Inhale, right arm, left heel extending away from each other. And exhale, slowly return back. And now just notice the landscape. Notice if your back feels okay, and if it's at all possible, extend both legs along the floor. Or place support underneath the knees if the lower back is feeling really tender. As you inhale, we're going to point the toes, and as you take your arms over your head, please note that your shoulders, your hands might not reach the floor like mine. You might have tight shoulders. So if it means bringing the arms just above the earth, do. And as you exhale, extend through your heels now. Have a sensation that you're extending through the sitting bones all the way to the heels as you lower your hands. As you inhale, extend the arms over your head, pointy toes. Notice the lower back slightly lifting off the floor. And as you exhale, as you extend through the heels and lower your arms, notice the lower back spreading and going towards the floor. And let's do that twice more. Inhale, pointy toes. Just really think of creating vertebral space between the vertebrae. And as you exhale, slowly lowering. Inhale, we're going to point the right leg, the toes up, arms over your head. And as you exhale, grab hold of the right knee and gently draw the thigh towards your chest. Inhale, point the toes up towards the ceiling. You might be able to straighten the leg. Then flex the foot, and as you exhale, slowly lower the foot and the hands. And again, inhale, pointy toes, arms over your head. As you exhale, gently bend the knees into the chest. Inhale, left leg extends, arms over your head. And exhale, slowly lower back down. And one more. Inhale, right leg, arms over your head. Exhale, bend the knee to the chest. Inhale, point the toes, arms over your head. Exhale, check that your back of the neck is still nice and long and your chin is not jutting up. Inhale, leg goes up. Exhale, gently squeeze towards you. Inhale, stretch straight up. And exhale, slowly lower. Pause, notice how you feel. Bending the right leg now, and inhale, bring the leg up. Bend the knee and grab hold of the knee. This pose is called Apanasana, and we're only doing half the pose at the moment, where we're trying to really exhale. In order to release the lower back, we're going via the hip flexors. So as you exhale, squeeze towards you. And as you inhale away, if the lower back is feeling delicate, remember you can always bend the left knee and place the foot on the floor. Otherwise, extend the leg if the leg is okay. And just keep going with the breath. Every time you exhale, notice the lift of the perineum. And as you inhale, gently away. Now we're going to change the scene. We're going to place the hands on our hamstrings behind our thighs. And if possible, you interlace the ham. And if that's difficult, you can always use a belt and hold onto the belt. And now what you're going to do is you're going to pull gently the thigh towards you, but you're not going to let it. And at the same time, through the sitting bone, you're trying to stretch the sitting bone away from you so that the side of the waist feels that it's long. And you might even bring that lower leg parallel to the earth. Remember, try not to tense your shoulders. Keep the back of the neck long and keep extending through the sitting bone, really creating vertebral space in the hip, and then gently release that leg and just notice how that feels. Let's do the other side. So inhale, the left leg goes up. Exhale, you're going to bend the knee. Place the hands on the knee and begin like on the other side. As you exhale, you're going to do knees to chest, or knee to chest, should I say, and inhale away. Exhale, knee to chest, and inhale away. And just continue this very gentle practice. Every time you exhale, draw navel towards the back body, towards the spine. And as you inhale, move the knee away. One more, exhale. And inhale. Now shift the hands from the knee to the back of the hamstring. Remember, if you can't reach the back of the hamstring, you can always use a belt. Lift the bottom leg to parallel with the earth. And now you're going to push away from you so that from the sitting bone. Imagine you're trying to get this left sitting bone at the front, at the end of the mat. And you're going to pull but push at the same time. And relax the shoulders, really relax the shoulders whilst you pause here and continue to do this technique. And then very gently release the leg. Notice how the lower back feels. Let's bend the knees again. And this time, bring both knees to the chest. One hand on each knee, so as you inhale, the knees move away. And as you slowly notice how you're moving towards your sitting bones and how the lower back is slightly arched. And as you exhale, you're going to draw the navel to your spine and draw the knees towards your chest. Inhale, you're going to try to take your thighs away. So notice how the lower back rolls on towards the sitting bones. And as you exhale, squeeze the knees to your chest. Inhale, just moving away. Exhale. Start to notice the relationship between the out breath and the response of the pelvic floor. And now keep the knees together and make circles with the knees. Try to keep your hands on the knees so the circles are not going to be long. You're just really getting into that lower back. And now change directions gently. Trying to keep the knees still nice and open, rocking gently around in a circle. And then pause here for a moment. Just gently rock from side to side. And then allow the head to go in the opposite direction to the knees. And then come back to center. Now separate the knees, keep the lower leg still, but make a circle with the knees. So I call this swimming frog. So it's a bit like doing breaststroke, but without using the legs, but using the hands on the knees to guide the knees apart, make the circle, and then bring the knees back together. And then go the other way. You move the knees away from you. The knees come together, then they come towards your chest, then they separate again. So you're now still doing breaststroke, but you're actually using the hands to move the legs. Encourage yourself to be as passive for a moment as you can. And then gently place the legs back down. Lengthen the lower back of the neck is long. Just notice the difference in the lower back. Take your feet wider than the hips, and if you have a normal yoga mat, then as wide as your mat. Gently take the arms out to shoulder level. As you exhale, you're going to gently allow the knees to go one way as you look in the opposite direction to the knees. And on your next exhalation, gently exhale over to the other side. Encourage yourself to be very attentive to your breathing so that you're only moving on an out breath and on an inhale you're just staying passive. Next time you go over to one side, pause there, soften as much as you can. Be super mindful of the inside of the knee. There should be no sensation on the inside of your knee. And that might mean you have to put a block underneath the top knee. On your next exhalation, slowly go over to the other side. And now really try to breathe. Yeah. And soften. If the shoulders aren't able, you can always lower the shoulder so that you can drop in the side. Nice, steady breath. Exhale, we're going to return back to center. Bring the arms either side of the body. Extend the right arm over your head as you gently roll over onto the side so that you can elegantly come up onto all fours. So set yourself here. I'll do it both ways so you can have a good view of this. Hands shoulder width apart, and really you want to go a little bit wider. So you're looking for the inside of the hand to be in line with the armpit. So the collarbones have space to widen. The knees are directly underneath the shoulders. As you inhale, we're going to elevate. This is called cat-cow. Elevate the thoracic spine or the sternum and try to not overlift the head. So you're looking just beyond the front of the mat, dropping the shoulders. On the exhalation, you're going to round, tuck in your toes, round the spine, and try to spread the space between your shoulder blades. On your next inhale, you release the tops of the feet, elevate the sternum, look beyond the front of your mat, and exhale, round. Now I'm going to continue, but I'm going to turn sideways so you can see this. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, round. Inhale, lift your sternum and the pit of your throat. And exhale, round. One more. Encourage yourself to breathe through your nose if possible. Inhale, find neutral, big toes together. And exhale, we're going to take buttocks to your heels. Now, if you have any knee issues, you really want to put something behind the knee to stop you from being able to get to your heels. Okay? And even if you have nothing wrong with the knees, it's a good practice if you're not able to reach the heels to put something there. And just rest your forehead. Now sometimes I find it when I'm not stretched out enough, I find that difficult to get my head. I create a lot of tension in my neck. So I'm going to put one fist on top of the other. Rest my forehead. And just breathe in between my shoulder blades and I drop into my sitting bones. And now we're going to do a little bit of a side stretch. So I'm going to turn again so that you can see it well. From this position, you're going to walk your hands over to the right. Now there's a tendency to then lift off this left buttock. So make sure you don't lift, so drop it. And you're stretching equal distance in the shoulders. And you're trying to really get into the obliques and the lower abdominals and the serratus muscle here so that we can get that spine, that lower back to release. And you just breathe here. You'll feel a little bit of restriction in the descending colon. This will be the ascending colon. So really good for also getting the abdomen and the intestines to work well. And now come back to center. This is called the extended child. Lengthen through both sides of the body. And now walk over to the other side to do the same thing, and remind yourself, keep this right sitting bone anchoring, equal distance the hands and arms, and drop this right side so you're not lifting up. And yeah, you're pressing into the left side of the colon. Inhale, we're going to come back to the center, lengthen, keep breathing, and then slowly come up to kneeling. If kneeling is not an option, as in you're not able to sit on your heels, you can always do this from actual kneeling. Inhale, we're going to go up, lengthen, going back to creating space in the vertebra. As you exhale, we're going to sweep the arms onto our sacrum. Inhale, we're going to try and really stretch the side body. Lovely. And exhale, draw navel to spine. And again, really lengthen the spine. Exhale, draw navel back. One last time. And just relax. Allow the arms to rest either side of your body, or come back to making one fist on top of the other. Let's do a little bit more work. And lower back and hips are very closely related. So we have to really stretch out the hip flexors and the psoas. So let's do a little bit of lunging to help that. So what we're going to do first, inhale, we're going to extend through the right heel as we extend the leg back. As you exhale, head to knee. So very similar to what you were doing on the floor. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale. And now if you want to work more on balance, you can extend through the leg rather than putting the toes down. And exhale, draw navel to spine. If you want to take that further, opposite arm comes off, but be careful that you now don't start sagging in the lower back. Really anchor with the lower abdominals. And then place your knee back down, the hand back down. Rest again in that extended child. Either the arms straight or one hand above the other in fists. Or even palms flat, whatever you need. Let's come back to the other side now. So as you inhale, extend the leg. Toes on the floor to start off with. Exhale, head to knee. Inhale, lengthen. Remember, avoid the sagging of the lower back. And exhale. And now we might go into the balance. Inhale, lengthen through the back heel. Exhale. So remember, this is not about how high you can get the leg, but how much can you get that leg parallel with the earth without disturbing this lower back. And then finally, extending if you want into the full balance. And again, coming back to that rest. Let's do a lunge. So just step the right leg forward, shoulders away from your ears. Inhale, we're going to raise both arms shoulder height, shoulder width apart. And exhale, we're going to bend the elbows. I'm going to show you this from the front now so that it makes it easier to understand. Inhale, arms go up. Exhale, so we throw in the shoulders as well whilst we work on our lower backs. Now if you'd like a little bit more to stretch the psoas more, then you take the knee further back. Be super mindful that this knee is above the ankle. So inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. And go back, if possible, on the heels, just to get the quadriceps stretched out. And let's begin on the other side. So start with the knee underneath the hip to start off with. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. And then if you want a little bit more, move this knee further back. Make sure that this knee remains above the ankle, or a little bit, let the ankle be a little bit forward, whatever's more comfortable for you. And then very gently place the hands on the floor. And can you step forward so that the feet are hip width apart? Drop the sitting bones. Bring the hands to your hips and inhale, come all the way up. And exhale. So there's one thing we haven't stretched yet. So we've warmed up the quadriceps, but we haven't really stretched the quadriceps. So we will do what we call in yoga dansa, nataraja, just to get that length, the release of the front of the thigh. So I'll show you from the side. Again, try to keep as upright as you can. Eventually this pose becomes a back bend, but in the beginning, be as upright as you can. Be aware of your feet, bend the right knee, grab hold of the ankle, and remember if you can't reach it, you can use a belt. And now you're going to extend the left arm up. And now action from the foot, you're going to extend the heel away from you and breathe, really breathe. Try to focus on a point that doesn't move. And as you notice, I'm obviously not doing it. And then gently release. So let's do the other side. So find that focus. Try to keep the gaze either eye level or slightly down. We're going to bend the knee. Grab hold of the ankle. Breathe. When you're ready, keep extending the heel back. So if it's the first time you don't get it, keep trying. And if balance is really a problem, this is so lovely on the wall. Really remember to have the hand, but it's really important that you don't twist the pelvis. So keep The inner thigh is moving back. Avoid taking the leg out. And then do the other side. And then we're going to do a little bit of further work by placing the knees above the ankles and very gently pressing into the feet. Relax your jaw. Be aware of equal weight either side of the baby toe side and the bunion, and then find the middle of your heel and try to gently push back down. At the same time, very gently push into the wall with your back body. Drop the sitting bones. Breathe. You might even add the arms, but if they distract you from the lower back, and drop the sitting bones, you're trying to really think of the sitting bones going towards the floor, and have a sense that these femurs, these long bones, are trying to move into the wall. Bring the hands onto the wall and gently push away. Notice how you feel. And one last stretch. This is really nicely done by placing your hands on the wall, moving away from the wall, feet hip-width apart, feet directly underneath the shoulders. And imagine that your sitting bones is trying to reach back as you extend into the wall with your hands, but also make sure your ears are next to your upper arms and that the crown of the head is moving towards the wall. And imagine that your back is like a tabletop, and breathe. Really stretch out that lower back and step forward and release the wall. Stand in Tadasana, mountain pose. Notice how you feel. And ultimately, you want to lie down for relaxation, understanding that tenseness comes from the muscles not relaxing, so we need to help them, and we might have to place something underneath the knees to prop them with a pillow or so. And it's really nice to also place the pillow behind the head. Let your legs be equal distance from the middle of your body, your midline, but no wider than, just a tiny wider than the hips. The arms away from the midline, so armpits open, but hands and fingers in line, probably with your hips and thighs. Gently close your eyes and allow yourself to relax your face, your shoulders, your head, the whole of your spine, all the way down to your toes. Feel free to stay here for as long as you have time to watch your breath, and be mindful how you come out of this pose at the end. Thank you for joining me. Namaste.